You can even hear the build up. I told you, it's which is 20 seconds into the track, and you can just feel that there's something coming. But I love the way he plays with the bass line. Soultouch, you never disappoint. Brother, you never disappoint. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of It's About Deep with the one and only, the Deepest, coming for you live. So, we're back with another episode of It's About Deep with the Deepest, the best Deep House show podcast that breaks down Deep House music and tell you its origin, its structure, its fundamentals, and most importantly, its beauty. So, for today's episode, we got a special one as always, and that's the standard. For today, we will be looking in towards a production by Soultouch Deep, part of an EP that he dropped around March, if not February, if I'm not mistaken. The EP is titled Uhuru, and the track that we're gonna be deep diving and dissecting is the first track, which is titled 20th Century. Yeah, I have a lot of words and a lot of um explanations to properly dissect this track, but we're gonna do it in three manners. We're gonna look into the foundation, chord progression, melody. I've been avoiding the bridge lately, and I've noticed, but the bridge is more of an organic thing that once we listen to it, you just have a description of what's to come. So, starting it off with 20th century foundation. It's a very basic foundation, and that is obviously due to the baseline, because it's a very basic foundation directed by the baseline, but it's coordinated by the dense elements within the chord progression. Whatever structure the chord progression and the melody takes is what gives the direction of the foundation of this track, which is very unique. I love it when elements take a role into defining the fundamentals of a track, moving forward towards the chord progression. So in 20th century, there's a lot of dense elements within it. It's a very dense structure that is filled with a lot of tense, very tense, clean produced, mastered elements within the track. And looking forward is what I love the most is it's a very it consists of a vibrant and continuation tension within the element structures. See, the elements are structured by means of being continuous and moving forward. They're not constant and a standstill, but they give off this vibe of just continuously moving forward, continuously building the emotions of the track. Because another aspect about this track is the sequencing, and sequencing plays a vital role whereby in every motion of the track elements tense up, elements tensions, the elements just become something different and vibrate. But in all honesty, the most vital part about this track is the interpolation of the original track Uhuru that was released years ago. If you don't know Uhuru, you have to check it out. Can't be a housemate without knowing Uhuru. It's a must. You get me? It's like me saying I'm a Deep House fan, but I've never listened to 1,000 Seconds. Nah, that can't happen. You get me? But I love the interpolation of the Uhuru original track, where he didn't interpolate a lot. He didn't take a lot of components from it, but he interpolated the melody and interpolated it into this one chord progression. But what's unique about this interpolation is the way that Soul Touch Deep brought it to the 20th century. I know the wordplay, but he brought it to the 20th century and composed it into a sound of today. He brought it to life by mixing an element of the past and an element of today, and most importantly, bring it to life in his own structure, in his own texture, in his own production that we know Soultouch Deep for. This track is fucking amazing. One thing for sure, it's a build up. It's unique, and I don't wanna describe it and dissect it too much. Before I go to the melody, I want us to tune into the track, listen to it, feel it, because a description of what the track feels like is a description of what the melody feels like, and you're gonna love the melody. You need to have this track in your playlist. So, without further ado and wasting your time, let's check this out. You can even hear the build up. I told you, it's which is 20 seconds into the track, and you can just feel that there's something coming. But I love the way he plays with the bass line. So such, you never disappoint. Brother, you never disappoint. Mm. Ah man, guys, we have to put some respect towards Soul Touch Deep's name, man. His production, the ambience, the vibrancy, the atmospheric touch, the flow, the continuation, the tension, the build up. His music consumes your soul. That's one thing for sure. So Soul Touch Deep's production literally as a statement of his name, Soul Touch. It always finds a way to consume and touch you in places that you can't be touched within the physical aspect of living. Shit. Ugh. But building up towards that, you can just hear 20th century, a depiction of Uhuru within the 20th century, within the life of today, within the sound of today. On that note, dissecting the melody. See, one thing about Soul Touch Deep's production on most cases, it takes over you. But with this one, it brings off that hypnotic feeling towards it. It consumes you. It takes your entire aspect of living and touches you and fills up gaps that you don't understand. And this is all due to the atmospheric ambience within the track. You can hear from the build up that sudden change incorporated, that change that just built up, that created this ambiotic sound, this ambiotic element that it was supported by the bass line. You hear that on most occasion within movies in the climax aspect of a movie, but you felt it here. You felt it, and it's a privilege to listen to it. And on that note, where we're describing the melody, which focuses on the feeling of the track. One thing I've noticed about this track, 20th Century by Soul Touch Deep, part of the Uhuru EP, that just pays tribute to the entire track of Uhuru, is that what I love the most is Soul Touch 20th Century creates this aspect of a song that, to put it in words, your past is what shapes your future. Hear me out. Bringing a track from the past, a very old track that has a lot of emotions instilled with it. If you know the originality of Uhuru, it tells you much more about the understanding of what's going on within um our South African, within the South African context of us people. And what I love the most is that he brought something from the past, or the track itself is a depiction of the past, but it shapes your future and what's to come. And what's more is that another aspect about this track is that it tells you to always stay true to your roots, always stay true to what you come from, to where you come from, and who you are. Whether it's a hardship past or a very light one, a very easy one, but it will depict the person that you are today, and it will bring light towards what you are today. And you don't have to forget that. Always bring that to the future and embrace it, because it's you staying true to your roots. And that was more in touch within the bridge. Because when we had that segment of the bridge within this track, it just took over your brain and made you understand more of what Soul Charge Deep was trying to, not trying, but his message that was converted or conveyed to us, the listeners, within 20th century. The freedom that we have today is much beautiful, and it's a depiction of what could have come during the time of the original release of the track. And today, it's bringing the track to life to let it witness the fact that we made it through. Although there's some bits and clims and glamours and some obstacles, but there's light. I don't know whether to close it off here, but let's shut it off here. It's your boy, the one and only, the deepest, and just hope you just continue on this path of breaking down deep house music to have a deeper understanding of where it comes from. Massive shout out to Soultouch Deep. Check out the Uhuru EP. It's a banger. It's vibrant. It's everything that you would think Soultouch Deep is. Because he always goes for a soul. Signing out over here, your boy, the one and only Deepest.